Good morning. Good morning. It's good afternoon, actually.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. This is the Black Magnificent show, which is hosted in the Arise Black Child. And today we are hosting the two ladies, Sister Anita and Sister Noblunga. I am Kondi Simkalipi. And yeah, I'll be the host for today, interviewing the two engineers. Imagine two engineers, and yeah, that will be it. Yeah, today we'll be discussing how a woman dealing with fields that are mostly dominated by males, more especially in the business world, in a place where there's a lot of men and then females are not known to be in those fields. So that's what we'll be looking at, and how are they coping and how is it for them. So with me, I have Sister Anita. Sister Anita, I would like to please give us a little bit of introduction. Tell the people who you are, what do you do, and yeah, we'll kickstart.
Okay, thank you, Mkondisi. As I've been introduced, my name is Anita. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Witbank and I studied electrical engineering at the University of Pretoria. And then after that, I started working. Yeah, it's called working as an engineer in training. I'm in the mining industry. So yeah, that's where I work, and I started in 2019.
So you are working where?
Do I have to say the company?
As which
It's in the mining industry, engineering.
I think I mean. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. We also have Sister Noglunga, who's the part of the meeting. Sister Noglunga, can you please kindly introduce yourself?
All right. Good evening to everyone. My name is Noglunga Mwagamsibi, and I am 25 years old. So I am from Middleburg, and I also studied at the University of Pretoria. The career which I chose is metallurgical engineering. So I completed last year, and I started working recently. So I'm also an engineer in training. What else do you need to know about me? And I have a side hustle. So
yeah. Oh yes. Yes.
Yes. So yes.
I assume Anita also has a side hustle.
No, I don't. I don't have a side hustle. She's the one who's more
Look, you can brief us about the side hustle. Have to know
okay.
If it's not secretive.
So I have a small scale baking company. So I bake birthday cakes, I bake scones, I bake biscuits, and I run it with my mother. But currently we've just taken a pause because I recently relocated to Dalmas. So we're just trying to find our feet again in terms of operations. But otherwise, it's a very fun thing to do besides being very engineer-like. Yes.
And you're good at it. Just
I think I got lost, Nyana, because of network connection, but I heard that you are baking and yeah. Did I get
yes.
that very well?
Yes, you got that correctly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it says my question would be, as you are in engineering field, which I think you grew up so very few women doing it, and then was it ever part of what you wished for to end up in this career, or good is that thing of points you get there, you want to do medicine, it's trapping you, and what you end up being an engineer? How did you end up in the field? Was it always your passion? How did you get there? Sister Anita, I can start with you.
Well, okay. With me growing up, I wanted to become a teacher. Actually, I wanted to go into teaching, but then when I started high school, I went to a technical high school. So like when you're in a technical high school, you do all those technical subjects, and then that's when I was like, I think engineering's for me. I think I'm into this whole just creating new things, making things, because the projects I regards when we were at the school, they were actually very interesting. Like I enjoyed doing such things, like designing things, like actually creating them and actually seeing them work. I was like, this is actually what I want to do. And yeah, that's when this whole thing started of going into engineering. But I didn't always want to become an engineer. Nope. Yeah.
No, I see.
So it was influenced by my school, and yeah, it was that.
Okay, I see. Sister Noglung.
With me, I never imagined myself being in engineering. It was only when I needed to apply that I ended up applying for metallurgical engineering. So growing up, I thought I wanted to be a doctor. That was in primary, like, and probably grade 8 and 9. And then grade 10, I think the subject that I enjoyed the most was accounting. So I thought I was going to go in that route. And then in grade 12, I was fortunate enough to be exposed to the mining industry. So there's this thing that they used to do. I don't know if they still do it. This thing with Celsi that's called Take a Girl Child to Work. So that's when I got exposed to the mining industry, and we took a tour around a mine. It was a coal mine, if I remember correctly, and I think our tour guide was a metallurgical engineer. So I got very intrigued as to what is it actually, because I had never heard of anything like that before. So then I went home and I did my research, and even then I didn't fully understand what it was. And then I attended a career expo and I met more metallurgical engineers, and then that's when I decided, no, this is what I wanted to do. And I remember before I even applied for varsity, I applied for a bursary before I applied for varsity. I don't know why. So yeah, it didn't make sense because I still wasn't sure if that's what I really wanted to do. And then in first year, when I actually found out that it's not only coal related, then I knew that, yeah, this is what I want to do. But I'm still very much in the coal line. But yes, it was only in grade 12 when I figured that I wanted to be an engineer. I don't know if Mkondisi is still here. Hello.
Network again.
Okay.
I think. But I think Noglunga, your road to making that decision was more informed than mine. I was like I didn't really explore that much. I just went into it and then I just went into it.
Okay. Yeah, but I think with us being from towns like this, Middelburg and Witbank, we in a way pushed in that direction because that's all you get to see. Yes, that's what you get to see. You get to see a lot of people working as electrical engineers. You get to see a lot of people working as mining engineers. So as opposed to being in a city, you don't get to hear about a lot of people working for like industrial places. So I think that's the other reason why we sort of like ended up in this field.
Because looking back now, I don't think I would have chosen any other based on the knowledge that I had when I was in high school. Yeah, I would still have chosen engineering. So
yeah,
it's the environments that we grew up in.
Okay, I think our host is back.
Or not. Network is a struggle. It's a struggle. I'm just hoping mine doesn't act up. Mine doesn't act up.
Yeah, you just keep your fingers crossed.
And there's load shedding as well.
Okay.
So said now.
Yes, mina sometimes I ask myself, ukuthi, if I had more knowledge, like would I have still chosen engineering? Because I call any.
I don't know. I think sometimes you're just fortunate enough to have your personality match the situation you're thrown into. Because I know of people who study and then end up not pursuing that career. I mean, even with myself, yes, majority of my life right now is engineering, but I know the end goal is not just that, you see. So I think I'm also still very fortunate to actually want to pursue it. Because the worst thing would be having studied these years
For
and
all
then
those
you
years.
decide that no, but this is not what I want to do. So yes, being in a town like this and then having this personality that actually matches the career, then
It was
yeah.
for me, it was.
Fighting here. I don't know what's happening. It's the devil. I say what's it?
It's the devil, definitely.
By all means, good to sing. But I can see you guys are already addressing some of the issues. Yeah, I have a couple of questions that we need to go through. Now, I want to ask, Kuti, since you are in this industry and then there's that view that you are not there and then you need to be some sort of aggressive. You need to be some sort of aggressive for you to for your voice to be heard. Have you ever experienced such things that people do not want to listen to you just because you are a girl or they do not see you as a qualifying person to be in such a place?
Anita, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I wouldn't say aggressive because I think aggressive is more negative. I wouldn't say aggressive, but like sometimes you have to be more firm. Definitely, you have to be more firm because I don't know, women are still viewed as being kind and soft, and like people still think that you can actually bend whichever way for them to be comfortable or to make them happy. So I think one thing that is very much needed and is necessary is to be firm so that people can hear you because unfortunately some people still think that we are guys, I keep on going like some people still think that we are that soft and but not aggressive. I don't think aggressive is the word, but Nakona, it depends on the type of people that you lead. Because the culture in that workplace does have that effect. Because I remember there's this other lady that's she's actually my mentor. I worked with her in 2019. And in 2019, she was actually more strict and it was in a different mind. She was actually more strict and more, like people just feared her. And then now where we are right now, it's a different mind and with different people. She's more free because people actually listen to her without her being that firm or her being that, so it depends also on the culture that is being promoted in that workplace. So I think that's what we have to fight for. We could see women don't need to be firm for them to be heard.
Okay, I think Anita and I go through the same experiences. Like, I'm also very fortunate enough to be in a workplace that actually respects women. You don't have to push to be heard. You don't have to feel like you're not in a safe space. And obviously, yes, it depends on the type of people that you work with and the type of people that you are leading. Obviously, we've got our older generations that had this culture that was instilled in them for a long time, and then it's a bit difficult because now you're coming in as a young woman and imagine having to give orders to someone who is as old as your father. But as time goes on, I think the perception is changing with people, you know. They're realizing that no, yes, we have young leaders in these girls, you know. And I don't know. Sometimes it's also a thing of, like, let me put it in terms of myself. Sometimes it's a challenge having to ask someone old for something, like giving orders. You know, it's still something that we also need to unlearn, because you have this fear with yo. Okay, now I'm gonna be telling my father to do this. You know, yeah, you know, but but you know, you learn to you learn to live with it. You grow into it, and you understand that leadership isn't about age. It's about what you I don't want to say what you know, but it's about how you treat the next person, how you're
No,
able
it's
to
very
build
much, very much,
relationships,
very much.
you know. Yeah, so
One the thing. I see. Would say it's hard. You have to deal with Bomadala, and they will tell you
Hey,
they've been there in that, and you just came from varsity number 2 yeah, again. Yo,
and you
yeah,
find that they're actually the ones who taught you the things
hard.
that you know, and then now you have
yes,
to
that's true.
give them
That's true,
orders. And
actually.
like you
You
come
learn a
into the
lot.
workplace, they
Yeah.
teach you the ropes,
You
and
learn
then
a lot.
But are you not even shy
no,
when it comes to addressing that?
I think it's just something
I
that
could
you have
be
to
shy. I
learn.
could be shy. One other thing. Do you get comments from them being there in your coat, and they start calling you spalapala, muhleze, boss lady? Do you get such sexist, so to say, comments from guys working there, and how do you deal with that? And how do you make them take you serious after they throw in those comments or sexist statement to you? Nokulunga, let's start on you this time.
If you're gonna be working in a mine, that one is a given. From the first day you enter that mine, you will experience it from the moment you go to the clinic to do medicals. So it's something you cannot avoid. So it's up to you, Uti. How do you react to it? Are you now going to be very shy about it, or are you going to act aggressive? You know. So I think it's an everyday thing. I think Anita can agree with me, which it's an everyday thing. And there are people that even when you call them out, they keep on doing it because it's been going on for so long. And as soon as you lash out, you are labeled as being over emotional, or you're blowing things out of proportion. But it's something that happens, you know. Uzindlulele nje uze umuntu athi ya mangibona wena ngibona umuntu, everyone else is an animal, and then you're just like, it's awkward. It gets awkward. Some of the comments are funny.
During the people,
Some
of the comments are funny, you know. But you really have to have a thick skin, because the attention you're going to get, especially if you are like 1 out of 10. What am I saying now? Like if you're the one female in 10 men. Yeah. So yeah, you need to have the skin for it. You need to know how to deal with it.
And just to add on that, I think if you allow it to happen, it will keep on happening.
Yeah,
that's what I've said. Because with some people, like if you just laugh with them or things like that, it will keep. They'll think that it's normal, like. And sometimes you find that it's making you feel uncomfortable. So if it's, so we must not allow it to happen. That's one thing I noticed, because it gets tough. Like it gets tough, especially if you let it go on for a long time, and then all of a sudden you're like, I actually don't like this. They'll be like, how almost all along you were laughing? How manje?
But is there a way to stop it before it carries on? Like,
yes. And I think that's the difficult thing, especially with me, because I like laughing. Like, I just like to laugh things off. So yeah, it didn't work for me in the past. It didn't work for me.
Yeah, no, I see. And since from varsity, engineering student, they carry drawing boards, they deal with projects like welding, and I've seen metallurgy students dealing with metals that I've never seen in my life. And going to a workplace, I'm sure there must be some physicality required. And most of the time, ladies are not fit enough for those things. How do you deal with heavy duty work? How do you deal with that? Because you have your own salary, you have your own job. You can't say you'll ask maybe someone from the side, or else you have techniques you use. How do you get things done when they require strength, physical strength?
Mm, For me personally, luckily, my work doesn't require that much physical. Everything is automated. In electrical, everything is automated. Everything is automated. We just deal with automation, it's machines and tools. So, but I think
Let's let's talk about high risk things then.
everyone does that. Everyone does. Everyone just dives in. Everyone just dives in. But I think the thingy, our company is trying to make the environment more comfortable for women and stuff like that. But like when it comes to high risk things like working at heights or just everyone just dives in. Like you have to. It doesn't really require physical strength as much as we think. It's just all in the mentality. So you just have to do it, and you'll see that it's actually not that bad.
Let's hear on the metallurgical side.
Honestly, on my side as well, I haven't had any labor intensive stuff. But I remember from an experience that I had with my project, I was working with a coal sample and it was quite heavy. And I think it's also a thing that already happens in the mind. You know, as much as we want to say that men make us feel uncomfortable in mines, it's let's not dim the light. They are very helpful because I remember when I had my project, as I said, my coal sample was heavy and they would insist that I shouldn't carry the coal myself because, well, you know, and even though you want to, I mean, you can't take offense to that because they're actually looking out for you, you know. But because now you have this thing, Uguti, I have to prove a point that I can actually do this. You end up picking up things that you wouldn't normally pick up on a, you know, although you're not as efficient as they are. But I think also
like,
if you have to go into a field where it requires you to have like physical strength, I think with time, if you are actually doing the job, you get used to it. You build up that strength that's going to enable you to actually do the job. So with us, most of the things that we do, you just need to apply your brain. It's not very labor intensive stuff. But I know I had a conversation recently with someone that there's a specific department in some other company that for every female artisan that they have to hire a male assistant. So that's now someone who's going to help. You know, it's a very tricky situation because now, in other words, females are costing companies more if you put it like that. But then I think that's a topic for another day because I'm like I said, I'm not sure how this works if they have to hire an assistant. But I believe that most artisans do have assistants. What am I saying? Yes, yeah. So I don't know what points they were trying to get across, or you know, but
no.
Yeah, I think it's just that in my field, I'm also very fortunate enough that you don't have to physically prove a point that, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Those who just joined us, I'm with Sister Anita and Sister Noglunga. They are two engineers, electrical and metallurgy engineers. You can throw in the comments for Facebook. We'll take a few comments. People want to know. Someone is asking me, did you ever doubt the career when you got to varsity?
For me, no, I didn't. Maybe it's because I had the support that I needed, but I didn't because I realized that I'm actually equally capable to be there. Like I had to tell myself that I actually deserve to be there and I can actually do this, but I didn't really doubt anything. I didn't doubt anything. I knew that this is what I wanted to do because it was exactly how I imagined it to be when I was in high school.
Mm, mm, Okay, let's pass on. Since we are rushing time with network issues. Now, I want to know, Wuti, since you guys are engineers and sure things, you are taking a lead role at work, and then yeah, you are getting used to the mentality because what you are at work is basically building up what you will be throughout the day, and we are used to leading and stuff. How do you balance being at home? And we know, would say, as black people, we come from African homes, and African homes, we are told of different things. They believe in different things. They will tell you what we can't be led by girls, and or girls have certain roles, they dress in a certain manner. Now, I want to know, Wuti, how do you maintain to not compromise yourself, but still maintain the relationship with abomaluma bangafundile that do not even care that you are an engineer and you can impose good ideas that can make the situations go right? How do you balance being a leader, but do not destroy relationships as a girl or as a wife or anything that you are at home?
I think Nuklunga, you can start in this one.
Are
That
you
one is
running,
a
Ali?
is okay. I was saying, I think that one for me is a bit difficult to answer because I come from a female. What is how do I put it now?
Mm,
I come from a family that is like
Let us
majorly
know.
mature. Yeah, it's led by females, and the reason for that is not because of absent fathers or anything.
mm,
We just a family that has a lot of females in our generation, you know. So
mm,
my mom has been a leader, my aunt has been a leader, my sisters are leaders. So it's not too difficult to come up with an opinion and be heard because I think we just
mm,
all at that level, you know. I've never really had to advise someone who's an older male. So
mm.
I don't think I'd be able to answer that question, you know. And jokingly, they call me Umalume Landlin, you know. So um yeah, I'm
Oh.
I'm the guy here at home. So
Okay.
yeah, because of the career that I chose. I mean, everyone in my family is either in commerce, retail, or business.
Mm,
So with me, I chose the scientific side, the engineering side, you know. So
mm, mm, mm,
yeah,
mm,
I wear the boots and bangbizu malume, and I mean it's just that, you know. I haven't really had to be in a position where I have to now think about the fact that uh, I need to behave a certain way because
mm,
I'm a female, but also there's the side to me that leads at work. No, it's really the same at work and it's the same at home.
Just
I,
funny enough, my brother calls me brother. I don't know why he calls
sorry?
me brother, but he says I'm his brother. Yeah, but
Mm,
I think that depends on how the families that we grow up in and also our personalities. Because me personally, I'm not a how can I put it? I'm not a bossy person. Like, I don't know how to put it. I just don't like taking a lead personally, just in anything, like in situations. I just don't like taking the lead. But because of my work, at work, I have to be a leader. But when it comes to home, I'm here because that's because it's how I am. It's not because
mm,
of no, it's just how I am personally. I just like, being led and stuff like that. So I submit under my parents, and one day, if I do get married, I know I'm gonna submit to my husband because that's how I am. But I think finding the balance is something that one person should like. If you are a leader, it's at work. It doesn't mean that I should now tell my dad what to do in his house
ne,
or
True.
tell, you know, so you have to find that balance that at home you are a child if you are a child or
mm,
you are,
mm.
so it's very important to separate those two lives
Mm.
because, yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. It's a difficult field. Actually, being black is a career on its own, I assume, because it comes with great responsibility that other cultures wouldn't understand. I think we should get paid for being black, just some allowance the government gives us because we are black. So I want to know also, Uti, how do other females react to you? Some of them you are on top of them, you are leading them at work. Some of them are in different fields. How is it? How do they treat you guys? Do they see you as more brother now since you are doing the strong things? How is the relationship? Does it bring any difference whenever you are with them? Because it's the truth. If you spend more time with guys, the mentality somewhere somehow will change a bit because of conversations you used to have, or the kinds of conversations you are having. How is the relationship with other females who are in different fields?
For me, the remarks that I usually get with these things like, I am strong. And for me, like, it's very puzzling because I'm like, my job doesn't even require me to be physically strong. Like, yeah, like that's the only thing they say to me. They're like, yo, if you're in engineering, that means you are strong. And I'm like, no, I'm actually the opposite of that. I'm the weakest person ever. Right now, I almost even went to the hospital because I bumped my elbow this morning. I'm very, very weak. I'm very, very weak. Like, I legit, like, I was like, yo, like, my elbow is broken. I'm very weak. Like, so I don't know where this thing of physical, like, it's just very funny. Like, our work is more intellectual than anything. So, but other than that, I think we're treated as normal people.
Conversation wise. Sorry to cut you. No conversation wise, awukhulumi njengamajita except and whatnot, you know those jargon men
you know
used
what?
to have.
And this is not even, it doesn't have to do with anything. You're surrounded by males. Sometimes it's just who you are, because sometimes in conversation I also say things and I'm told, no, why are you speaking like a guy? But it really, because when you look at my group of friends, very few of them are actually male, you know, and it's just something you grow up being. It's you're not really influenced by work. I think I want to think that is the case, you know. And I think we've gotten to a point where our generation is realizing that some jobs are not limited to one sex only, you know. We studied engineering, we're doing it, and we are seeing people that have been doing this thing and they're getting it right. So I don't think jobs have a gender. You see, yeah, that's how I want to put it. I mean, some of the best male technicians are guys, and that's something that you wouldn't have thought of in the past. You would say, oh, umuntu ozongifaka amazipho kahle is gonna be a guy. So yeah, you know.
I think that's something that we realize once we start doing the work, actually. Yeah. Because abantu who are viewing us from outside, they still think it's our job requires you to be a man, and they're surprised that we as females are doing it. We're like, no, man, like, it's not even like that. Nowhere close being that. Like, it's just have to apply your brain.
I think this thing is messed out from the outside. People are listening. Yes. I hope they are up a thing. Like it's messed out from inside. People who are inside are not seeing what we think it is, and that's what the show is about.
We are not. We are like, yo.
As mentioning, I think men are the best hairstylists, and they do indie for better than females. Like, I don't know even how, but it's really happening, ne?
So
yeah. As we are coming to last questions, I want you to take two. In a society that we are living in, the longest time people have believed that men are genuine leaders, but it's coming to an end somewhere, somehow. But there are still those parts who are merely responsible for it. Some are putting it, but it's males enforcing the power on females, but abanye, it's females being too submissive or being too subjective to men. So at the end of the days, men end up taking charge because women are angry, are scared to take charge. So it's an ongoing debate. From your view of things, who is responsible for perpetrating patriarchy? Is it men or the females?
Patriarchy in the
That's a tricky
workplace.
question.
Uthi the men are the one who are meant to lead. Is it who is perpetrating this? Because maybe you can find out in Sebenzini, you are there, it's females challenging you more than men, or it's even men who are refusing to be led by a female. Which one is it?
I'm not going to speak on the side of men. I don't want to speak. I want to speak on the side of women because I think both parties are equally guilty. Women just don't want to, like, I don't know. I think it's lack of interest from females. Like, they just don't want to take up those positions. They don't want to, they just don't view these industries as attractive to them because they would want to look beautiful, and they think that if you're in a certain industry, you're not gonna be old, you're not gonna look beautiful, or you're not gonna look pretty or something like that. So I think it's lack of interest from women because of maybe misinformation, lack of information. So yeah, I think it's something that we have to fix as women. Like, we should be more educated, more informated on such things, and yeah.
Yeah, Noglung.
I want to think it's both as well, because it takes an individual to decide how they want to go about this life thing. And when you listen to people speaking and you decide, hey, but this thing is not for me because so and so said a woman can't do this, or so and so said this thing is most probably going to make you look like Bob Malume, because well, that's the comments that we get most of the time. When are you working in a coal mine? So you can't grow your hair, you can't have nails, you can't do this. It's in a way it's kind of like Anita says, Wuti, it gives people a perception that you can't do a certain, like you can't live towards. You can actually, you can very much find a balance and actually do it. There's something I also wanted to say, but now it's completely ran out of my mind. But yeah, I think we can carry on with the questions.
We've come to the end of show, and I think we are exactly on time. Sister Noglunga, can you please talk to a female listening right now, or they will listen to this thing later in the year or whenever they choose, or they're even watching right now because I see people on Facebook. What can you tell a female who is scared of charge, who's seeing themselves as someone not credible enough to stand and do positive things, who still believe that women cannot do something positive in our in our generation? What can you say to that girl?
What I have to say to you, young girl, is that we have come to a point where we are being heard. You don't need to shout. You don't need to fight. If you take a look at a lot of companies, especially if you look at the engineering, if you want to follow a route in engineering, you are being heard. You are actually being promoted. You are being pushed forward. It's just up to you to decide that you actually want to occupy that space. Go for it. Don't let people stop you just because you are told, no, you have to. I mean, it's something that I can't say that I grew up with it, because I think when times change, we also get to experience different things that our parents than what our parents experienced. So in the past, it wasn't very easy for my mother, for example, to go be a scientist. I know she wanted to be a scientist, but she ended up doing something completely different, but it worked out for her. But at this given time, we have so many options. We've got so many opportunities. We just need to be informed. Find a mentor. If you're not sure of what you want to do, go out there, ask people questions, find out how it is to be in that specific place that you think you want to be before even going into it. Because you might find, Uguti, you want to go into that place, and then when it doesn't work out, you want to put yourself down and say, just because I'm female, it didn't work out. Kanti, you didn't really have like a self introspection and you checked, Uguti, does my personality actually match this thing? Because I think the other problem that we have is that you end up in the wrong field just because you're being pushed into it, and then you say it doesn't work because mina ngumfazi or mina ngiso or mina ngiso, yabo. So I think it's really good to know yourself as well.
Yeah.
Find out who you are and what you want to live by before you make any rash decisions.
Just to add, it's just adding on what Nuglunga said. I think if you think if you consider going, for example, into engineering, if that thing is in you, like you're just considering it, it's just fear. I think you have it in you. You just have to be brave and be bold and just go for it, because I don't think it would be in your heart if it wasn't for you. So just be bold and just be brave and just go for it. But while you're at it, don't lose yourself because you're trying to fit in. You'll find that maybe because you think I'm a woman and there are 10 men around me, I have to try and fit in and try to be like them. And I think that defeats the whole purpose of you being in that space. So just be bold and just be brave, be a woman. Make sure that you are seen as a woman who is a leader. And I think that will change the ideas that many people have that women cannot lead and stuff like that. So just make sure that you're seen as a woman who is a leader and just go for it.
Very nice one. Very nice one. I think what I can take from what you guys have said is that being a woman is enough and it's complete. It's the same ability that men have. Ne? I think
and the environment is very
outside,
friendly for us as well. So
sorry?
I was saying that the environment is actually very friendly for us.
I think people who are listening, they So umuntu olalele, if you are a female and you still doubt yourself, I don't know, because these are young females, they are in mining department. Maybe you are not there, but you are thinking of something else. This is the testimony right in front of you. 2 engineers doing the most, and I hope whenever we talk to them in the next 3-5 years, they will be the CEO. Right? Hopefully we pray. Thank you guys for the. It was cool having you, and you are not stiff people, so we really enjoy having you guys around.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everyone who's listening, thank you for being part of the show. We enjoyed. Myself, I enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed too. Thank you. Have a blessed night tonight. Shut up.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.